Good morning, Saitlanders. How are you? Is this working? Does the lighting look all right? I think it does. I'm looking at the preview on my monitor in front of me, my laptop screen. Everything seems to be okay. I think I want to share something quickly and briefly with you, not a long video at all, because we're having a lot of trouble with wireless internet here in the Boer Kaap at the moment. Here in Van der Kloof and surrounds, the wireless internet is off quite frequently, or has been off quite frequently in recent days and recent weeks. And when it's on, when it's working, it's quite weak. So we must make these videos short to upload them more easily. Here we go. I'm going to tell you very briefly about 3 quick stories. Now, these stories are about COVID-19, but they're not necessarily to say that it does or doesn't exist, or that the vaccine is right or wrong. We have discussed that in the past. We did many videos and live broadcasts by Zoom in, would it have been April, May, June and July of last year, in which we discussed some of the discrepancies concerning the stories that had been told about COVID-19 and how dangerous it was and how many people were going to die and so on. And we spoke to you about the vaccines and about the passports that go with the vaccines. We spoke to you about VST Enterprises and the report on Zero Hedge about South Africa being one of the first 15 or 14 countries to sign a contract for a combined vaccine passport solution. This is not about that. This is about something slightly different. And I'll tell you what brought it to mind is this thing over my left shoulder. It says there that Slovakia, you can't read it so well, Slovakia is the first European Union nation to approve ivermectin for COVID-19. Now, many of you know that ivermectin is regarded in some circles in South Africa, I don't know, I'm not an expert, as a bit of a wonder drug concerning, a wonder drug for both the prophylaxis of and the therapy of, the treatment of COVID-19, the prophylaxis, the prevention. And apparently, as far as I know anyway, that the rage, the fashion, the craze started in South Africa. And when I traveled to meet one of our leaders, Louis Hotting, recently, Louis and his wife Marguerite, some of you will know, big Saitlanders who live in between Hofmeyer, on a farm between Hofmeyer and Tarkastad, up in the mountains. I had an opportunity, very coincidental, to speak to some other local farmers about ivermectin. It came up. In fact, a friend of mine brought the subject up by coincidence, and lo and behold, we were speaking to the right people, and they all swear by it. Is it a genuine therapy? I don't know. They certainly say so. And when I saw this article about Slovakia adopting it legally, I was quite fascinated, and that made me think of something completely different, which I'm going to share with you now. Oops. All right. So here are 3 stories. The first is from the 22nd of January. Home run king Hank Aaron dies of undisclosed cause 18 days after receiving Moderna vaccine. The 86-year-old sports icon received the first of 2 doses of Moderna's vaccine on the 5th of January in an attempt to inspire other black Americans to step up to the plate and get the vaccine. This is on the Defender. But it was reported far more widely. I think that it was originally reported in the New York Post, and I, in the past 10 or 15 minutes, have read an identical report on Bloomberg. So it was reported by the mainstream media and others Home Run King Hank Aaron was a famous black American baseball player, one of the first accepted in the old days in the USA. And he was very, very famous. And so he was used as a promoter of the Moderna vaccine. And he died of what they call undisclosed causes. But all of the mainstream reports concerning this say that the 86-year-old Hall of Famer died of unknown causes, but they say Aaron's tragic death is part of a wave of suspicious deaths among elderly, closely following administration of COVID vaccines to them. Okay, so here we have another article. Nearly 24 nursing home residents in Norway die within days of getting COVID vaccine. This was also very widely reported on mainstream media. It's by Jessica Schladerbeck for the New York Daily News. Nearly 24 nursing home residents in Norway died within, 15th of January. Died within days of receiving their first jab of the COVID-19 vaccine, triggering a warning from health officials for sick patients over the age of 80 years old. Now that's slightly misleading because there are many reports that indicate that the vaccine may have had undesired, let's say, an unacceptably high proportion of fatalities in people over 70 and over 60 and so on. Less and less, but it's not only strictly people over the age of 80. The Norwegian Medicines Agency, in a press release on Friday, revealed that 23 patients died shortly after being stuck with the Pfizer BioNTech shot for coronavirus. So in the first anecdote, we spoke about the Moderna virus. This is the Pfizer BioNTech shot. After being stuck, I think they mean pricked, as in stick with a pin. Of those deaths, 13 have been autopsied with results suggesting that common side effects, in other words, side effects known to be common, known to exist, known to be prevalent, known to be somewhat usual, likely caused the high death toll. Sigurd Hortemo, chief physician at the Norwegian Medicines Agency, said that typical reactions to the vaccine, like fever and nausea, may have contributed to the fatal outcome in some frail patients. Right. We said we're going to try and keep this short. It's already almost 9 minutes long. Here's another one. And this was reported a week ago, although I only came across it today. This is in Russia Today. Thousands of unwanted reactions. COVID-19 vaccination with many side effects. A German authority, not the German authority, so this is one amongst many, a German authority reports 113 deaths after COVID-19 vaccinations by the end of January. The EMA has recorded, this is, I believe that the EMA stands for the European Medical Association. I could be mistaken, but it doesn't give the meaning of the acronym here in this report by Susan Bonath on Russia Today on the 7th of February, about a week ago, just over a week ago. But the EMA has recorded tens of thousands of side effects, some of them serious, in Europe. Interest in clearing up the cases seems to be rather low. Yeah, and interest in discussing them too. Why is this not on E-News? Why is it not on ENCA? Why is it not on in the Natal Mercury? Why isn't it in the Citizen? Not that I've seen anyway. Certainly not so prominently that it was easy to pick it up. SABC, CNN, the whole lot of them appear to have very little interest in revealing that tens of thousands of people have suffered apparent, here we go, here's the word that they use, serious adverse reactions, with hundreds of deaths, 113 deaths just by the end of January in Germany, 23 deaths up to the time of that report in mid-January in Norway. And indeed, Hank Aaron himself, the famous baseball player, having died in the USA. That's all we want to say. Whoa, hang on. Sorry, I forgot the best part. Listen to this. Every third, this article that I'm reading has been auto-translated on my telephone. And so the grammar is slightly poor. Just bear with me. There are hundreds of seriously affected people in Germany. So people whose conditions conform to the medical standards, I should think. And I'm going to substantiate what I'm saying. This is now a quotation from the famous Paul-Ehrlich Institute. You can go and look it up for yourself. So this Paul-Ehrlich Institute, as a famous medical research institute, is using these terms, that there are hundreds of people who are seriously affected. A third of whom have died. Wow. That's all I can say. Guys, we don't want to make this video long. It's already 13 minutes long. Excuse me. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that this was of interest to you, and we'll speak again soon. Take good care of yourselves. Bye-bye.